Hey guys, another Sunday, another new trading week. About to get started. Just gonna run through some setups that we were looking at this past week, and as well as some of what we'll be looking at for this coming week. Now on EU, we caught some of these sells. I was waiting ideally for a retest of this area. Price didn't really get back to there. So we just allowed price to play out. Didn't really give me a clear retest of this area as well. So we allowed that to go. I had this price sensitivity area coming from the left. Was anticipating buys to retest this level at first, and if we break above, then ideally to retest this level. Per the signal chart, price gave us 20 pip for a TP1, didn't make it all the way up. However, it did a deeper retrace before going to our actual level, which was right here. And then we got a rejection. So right now, price made a double bottom again off a significant area for me, which is right over here, taking it from the 1 hour time frame. So ideally, what I'm looking at as it relates to EU is that we have some areas of interest. For me, the first one would be right here. And then I'm gonna just put this minor trend line right here. Now, overall, there's gonna be a major trend line right about there, but not trying to confuse you, being that it's pretty much in a similar position as to where price would react on this one. So that is one zone that I have there, which is right here coming up. This one, I would also take this into consideration, and ideally up here that we were targeting from the first signal. Now, just to keep the charts a bit clean, won't try to add too much, but this is what the setup as to what I'm looking at. So I'm looking for a potential pullback on EU to retest these levels. So we're gonna just do it a step at a time as it relates to what we're looking at. So for the first phase, which would be right up here, this is just about 30 pip that we're looking at. So what ideally, I'm looking for it to go a bit above this area. So for that, looking at something potentially, I want to see a break here, right? So I'm looking for something like this to reject, come back to retest this area. Now this trend line, it can be retested as well, or just the area. Ideally, I'm looking for the area to be retested for price to continue up, targeting this area as well. This one, it is still in play. However, this would be based on an overall major structure move. But for this one, it is advisable just to take it step by step from one point to the next. So you take it from here, put stops at break even, wait to see how price react to the zone as well as a trend line, and then you take it further. All right, this is it. So overall play that we'd be looking at would be this pullback at least to this high, which is just about 120 pip. This one is in play, yes, but ideally I have to see how price react to this level first before going that much. So we're looking at just about 120 pip play on EU. And if we were to throw a fib on there for the buy, then that's gonna be just around TP. So right here would be TP1. Again, I'm looking for a price to see how price play in this area before actually going to complete this fib. So that's why I'm not putting a fib on there yet. I'm just waiting to see how price plays in that area. Now moving on, we're gonna look at CHF JPY. So we had some long-term buys going from this area We were able to secure some pips. We had one take profit right here. So just about 270 pip. That was our take profit on the buys. We had some sells going from right here. Not sure why it's not on the chart, but ideally we're looking to continue playing where price is playing. So I had this area based on the fact that price was consolidating in this area for almost a 200 pip range. We broke above, didn't maintain the high that was created here, so we fell back into the zone. So ideally, what I'm looking at right now for CHFJPY would be continued sales. We may go to retouch to test this trend line, not looking for a break, looking for continued sales back down to these lows for CHFJPY. It's on a 1 hour time frame. Not looking at anything above. So if we're going to look at this for sales, then we'll look putting stops right above here and to target the lows. So be like a 40 pip stop loss, be safer and do 50, but you'd wait for the rejection. So therefore, you won't have such a wide stop loss. Then for the sells, our first level would be right here, which is just over 74 pip. As again, we would be looking at taking this one step by step. So we trade our levels. First one would be right there. Once we get a break of this level and a retest, then we can look to go all the way down to this level, which is 190 pip to that level. So for CHF JPY, that is what um, I'm looking at for this week. For GU, all right, so again, GU like EU, we were anticipating buys last week, got in this one based on the rejection that we got here. Price gave us our TP1, didn't go as far as we wanted on that run. However, we got a break and a retest of this line, got some entries here, which made it all the way up to our take profit, which was just about 200 pip right there. Did not take the sells on that one. So right now, what we're looking at is pretty much waiting to see what happens here. For this one, I am also looking at possible pullbacks before anything else. So I'm looking at something like this, at least to retest this broken level right here. That'd be your first stop. So should price break above, which I'd like to see a retest of this area at least. So I'm looking at possibly break above this trend line. Hold on, sorry. So I'm looking to break above this trend line, maybe something of the sort. As for GU, so it's pretty similar to EU in terms of what I'm looking at. So again, we'll be taking it step by step. Just to ensure that we take from the market. So for the first level, this is just about 40 pip right there. That's a good chunk of pip as well. And you would just monitor it accordingly to see if we get the 140 pip retest of this area. So we got GJ. All right, so GJ, originally we had some sales going. I had two sales from the signals chat. I had this one. This was the overall target for this cell. The final TP, as you can see, I said TP6, 350 pip. Didn't make it down. However, we were able to secure over 250 pip on this trade. Got in again on this one. Price didn't play all the way out just yet, still in the zone right here. So on here, we had a take profit right here for 180 pip that we caught in GJ, with this one still running, this one still running, and then we had another entry on GJ right here. I believe this was Thursday or Friday. Yeah, Friday morning, in the early morning before news. So I had the entry right here before news, and news came out and it went all the way down right in our favor for over 200 pip right there, but we're still awaiting this to play out. Um, we had a pullback phase right here where it was in an ascending channel, and news caused the breakout. Now for that, um, we had the entry here, as you can see. Right up here was our entry. Was pretty clean. Didn't have any amount of pullback on this entry. Price came all the way down with news, then gave us a pullback. So for GJ, what I'm currently looking at is pretty much continued sells. I am looking to retest this area first before going to our actual TP based on a fib. If we're to do a minor structure fib right here, it'll show that TP2 is at the bottom of our wick on this minor move right here, which is also there's 0 on the major move that I'm looking at. So ideally, we're already in sales. For persons who are not, then add wait to see what GJ has to do. We may get a little pullback to this trend line right here. We'd be looking at more comfortable sells or entries below a break of this level. So you could look at a possibility something like this, which would actually have GJ retesting this area right here. So if you're looking to get into sales, I'd say just wait until we get a break of this low right here for a GJ, and then we take it down. So we're still looking to target our original. So this is TP5. This is from this entry and this entry as well. And then we have overall TPs um, going down to TP6. This right here is a major level for me, which I'd be looking at buys. But for right now, GJ is looking good as it relates to continuations on the sell. Last but not least, I have my baby, which is gold. All right, so this one looks a little messy. Hopefully y'all can see. All right, so let me just take this off. So we've been playing gold cells. Um, we had cells coming all the way here, came down here. At this point, we're waiting to see if price would give us a retest of this level first or a break. Price continued down. Personally caught the cells going down. Um, for the signals shot, we just secured 300 pips from here to here. Didn't get in on this last leg here. Now, again, we're playing gold buys on this one, ideally to target the same TP2 here before continued sells. Price, however, took a while for us to get to TP1. We had our sell entry right here. Um, just a moment. Let's see if it's on this chart. Yeah. So this was our entry. We got 100 pip on this move right here. All right, so this was no, so this is 200 pip move. TP or final TP was just at 150 pip, which was right here. So we had that, didn't make it all the way up to the 300 pip target as we were looking to retest this area before it continued sells. Gold was in this is a channel right here. It finally broke out. Give us some confirmation down here for buys. So what we're looking at right now for gold is a possible retest. So it broke this little minor trend line that I had down here. Um, so what I'm looking at on gold is pretty much a continuation. So I want to see it remain above this trend line. And ideally, this trend line, I'm looking for a break of it, but we're taking it again step by step as we did with the other pairs. So a buy from here to this trend line is all of 60 pip. So that is a good setup, good amount of pips for a first trade that we're looking at. This right here, the bottom of the zone can be considered a trend line. So again, we have to be careful as it relates to how we're gonna trade gold. It price can break, do something like this to retest. It can retest this high or this trend line or even this trend line, depending on where it's at, to continue up to give our retest. But for right now with gold, I'd be looking at bringing it up to this high right here, just the 60 pip, then wait for additional confirmation. I do believe though that we might get the break of this gold trend line to retest this blue level here, and ideally this last major low that was broken. Because from we broke this level, we have not retested it, and it was a major level. So that is what I'm looking at on gold. So a retest, potential retest of this level before we look to continue our overall bearish trend. But this right here is a pretty um, key level for me. So I'm waiting. As you can see, price played around quite a few times here. It rejected it on this attempt. It's pushing up now, so we're waiting to see. It's gonna retest the level as well as the trend line in the same area. So that's pretty key for me. So I'm waiting to see what happens right here. And again, if you enter on the open of on market open, and you got in and price pushes at 60 pip. As I'm saying, it is possible that at market open you get a retest of this, and that would only be a better entry from, in my opinion, for continued buys or the retest of this area to do something like this. All right. So thank you once again, guys, for tuning in, and all the best this week with your trades.